Okay, welcome back to the BSN channel. Today I'm gonna make some oven chicken. I can't give it a specific name, but let's just say I am gonna use curry powder. Sorry about the camera. I am gonna use curry powder and some other ingredients. So I don't really have a name for this. I'm just gonna call it oven chicken with potatoes. But this is the way I like to do chicken. This is the seasoning I like to do. There's many different seasonings which I'll probably do in the future, which I like to do, but I don't have paprika, which I would like to have, smoked paprika or cayenne pepper. So I'm gonna have to work with what I've got. So I'm just gonna call this oven chicken. Yeah, peace. Okay, so as you see here, I've got 6 chicken thighs. They're not that big, they're not jumbo size, but they're like normal size. In the cup here I've got the equivalent of 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. I like garlic a lot, to be honest. But this is the frozen type, you know. It's easier to use, to be honest. You don't have to peel. This is the packet, that's the one I use. Got this from Tesco. Actually I got this from Asda. And you just push it out from the bottom. Over here I've got about 5 Scotch bonnet peppers. You might not want to use this. It's because these particular ones not as hot as the African version. I mean, this is the West Indian one. I think it is. The shop said it was. So they're quite small. So I chose to use 4 because I like a lot of pepper. But you might not want to use that. It depends on which Scotch bonnet you got. Over here I've got cider vinegar, which I'm going to use about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. Got some mixed herbs. I was going to use herb de... I don't know how to say it in French. Is it herb de Provence? I think it's provincial herbs. I could be wrong. But I just wanted to keep it simple. This has thyme, marjoram, and what's the other one? Parsley. It's the thyme I like, to be honest. I've got 1 jumbo seasoning. You might want to use Maggi cube, it's up to you. I've got a nice unsalted curry powder. I like using this a lot. You've seen this in my other videos, especially with making curry, etc, etc. I've got some mustard seeds, which I might press them down before I put them in the blender. You know, I'm being a bit lazy today, so I'm going to use the blender. Last but not least, I've got some nice extra virgin olive oil, which I'm going to put on the chicken last. So when I put it in the oven, it doesn't crisp too easily. I don't have the potatoes with me. I'm going to peel the potatoes myself and chop them. It's quite a long process, so I'm not really going to film that. I've left the potatoes in the shed because there wasn't enough space in the kitchen. So yeah, I'm gonna start off washing the chicken. I don't usually do that, but it's good practice really. So I'm gonna wash the chicken, then get with the seasoning. Peace. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot this. 2 onions. This is optional, but because I don't have paprika, I want to add, crush some onions. It really doesn't harm the taste at all. If anything, it's a benefit. So I'm gonna grind this down, and that's gonna add more volume to the seasoning, and obviously it's gonna add some nice taste. So yeah, peace. So yeah, I've washed the chicken quickly, and now I'm gonna get with the seasoning. The first one I'm gonna start with is the mustard seed. I don't really want to just chuck it in the blender because it's too small to be properly blended. So I'm gonna use the patoria, which is basically the mortar. I'm gonna use a pestle to grind it down, and yeah, and then I'm gonna put the rest of the stuff in the blender. Okay, so the mustard seeds, I've grinded them down. So this is going to be satisfactory to put in the blender with the rest of the ingredients. So let's do that now. So as you can see, I've put the ingredients in the blender. I'm not sure if there's enough fluid for it to blend without it getting stuck to the blades, but we'll see how it goes anyway. So we've got the 4 Scotch bonnets in there. I've got heaped teaspoon of mixed herbs. I've got 1.5 or 2 heaped teaspoons of curry powder, the unsalted one. I actually put 1.5 jumbo seasonings instead of 1 because the curry powder doesn't have salt, so I can put more jumbo seasoning, to be honest. What else is in there? The mustard seed is in there. The 5 cloves of garlic, the frozen type. Let me see, what else is in there? I've also put about 3 or 4 tablespoons of cider vinegar and olive oil. I decided to put the olive oil in because I want to put as much fluid as I can in here so it doesn't get stuck to the blaze too much. If worse comes to worse, I'll add a bit more olive oil because when you're baking the chicken, the oil comes out, the fat comes out, and you can drip it away, filter it out, so it's not such a big deal. So let's see how it goes. Peace. Okay, so this is what the seasoning looks like now. I had a nice smell. I looked at it. I decided to put a bit more mixed peppers. So mixed peppers? No, I decided to add more mixed herbs. About half a teaspoon, and then I added like another teaspoon of curry powder. But that was just my preference. If you don't like curry, don't do that. There's other things. If you have paprika, I do recommend you add some paprika. Not too much though. Not like you would with mixed herbs and curry powder. Usually I just put 1 teaspoon of paprika at most. Yeah, so I added a bit more olive oil as well. So now this is ready. I'm actually going to put this on top of the chicken. I'm going to let the chicken rest for a while. I'm going to cut up the chicken so, you know, the chicken, the seasoning can go inside everything. So let's begin. So I've cut up the chicken. This is how I like to cut it. You can decide to cut the top layer or go to the bone. I've done a mixture of both, to be honest. So as you can see here, I've cut up the chicken. I'm ready to marinate it. When I marinate it, as you can see here, it's quite thick. I'm not only just going to pour it on top, I'm going to mix it, use my fingers to get in the middle right there, if you can see. Try and put some in the middle. That's how I'm going to do it. So basically, you know, forgive me for using my left once again. I'll just mix it like that. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it in like that. So I can't film that, obviously, because I'm the only one holding the camera. So yeah, I'll show you the aftermath, shall we say. Peace. Okay, so I finished the marinating. I marinated the chicken. The onions that's in it is killing my eyes right now, but that's normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's quite a lot of marinade, which is good. So I'm going to put this in the fridge for about an hour or 2. I'm going to use that time to, well, rest, listen to some music, but mostly to cut the potatoes. So I'm going to trim them down. The potatoes I'm using is Maris Piper. That's the ones I use. Some people use King Edwards, but we like to use Maris Piper. White potato is alright as well, but white potato is kind of it gets really soft. Unless you like that sort of potatoes, there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, Maris Piper is the one we're going to use. We're going to put this in the bottom of the fridge about an hour or 2. Be better if I could leave it overnight. That's not a big deal. If I was going to leave it overnight, I'd like to have the proper ingredients, like paprika. But I've tasted the seasoning. It's alright. It's good. So yeah, let's put this in the fridge. Okay, so I've boiled the potatoes for a little while. Drenched it in olive oil. Sprinkled it with salt. It's ready to go into the top end of the oven. Okay, I'll put the temperature to 200 degrees. It doesn't take too long to do the chicken. Usually I do like 25 minutes each side, 180 degrees. With the potatoes, it takes a bit longer, so I'm actually going to avoid preheat the oven, 200 degrees. put this in the top. I'm going to let it be in there for about approximately 20 minutes before I put the chicken in. So I'm going to do this now. Peace. Okay, so the potatoes have been in there for about 20 minutes, just short of 20 minutes. So now I'm going to put this nice seasoned chicken in. So I'm going to put it in the bottom because you know, chicken, it does burn quite quickly. I'm going to lower the temperature to 180. Make sure I've got that. And then I'm going to put the chicken in the bottom. So peace. Okay, so I've been baking this for about 25 minutes. So I'm going to turn this around, put it back in the oven for another 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so peace. So yeah, there you have it. You got the oven roasted chicken right here. Let me zoom in a bit. Nice. You can see the curry powder, all the mixtures. Over here you've got the roasted potato, and I've got some coleslaw. If you want a healthier alternative, make a fresh salad, but I do like coleslaw. The roasted potatoes took about roughly 15 minutes. I took it out before the actual chicken. Chicken took a little bit longer, but that's because I put the chicken in a bit late. I don't want to overcook the chicken. At least with the potatoes, you can overcook it a bit. There's a bit of a tolerance for heat. I like mine crispy, to be honest, and it's nice and crispy. Just the way my dad would like it, the Irish way, I guess. As for the chicken, I don't know what style that is, but I like it. It's quite nice. Would have been better with paprika, but nevertheless, very, very nice. Very tasty. It's a bit rich, but it's nice. So, hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for the shaking of the camera. Got very shaky hands. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like. If you didn't enjoy it, feel free to dislike. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And God bless the believers. Good luck to the atheists. Peace.